This morning on Today Food, the ultimate Thanksgiving dessert. And why not mix it up a little bit this year? Nigella Lawson's latest, her 10th cookbook, is called Simply Nigella, Feel Good Food. Good morning. Nice to have you back with us this morning.
It's gorgeous to be here.
You have a couple of great options for us if we want to mix up the Thanksgiving dessert this year. The first one is this bitter orange tart.
Yes, and I think one of the great things about this, apart from the taste, obviously, is that it's no bake and you make it ahead of time. So it's very, very good for getting something really sensational on the table without the stress.
I love that idea. So first we have over here, tell us what we're using to make this delicious creation.
I think ginger with orange is so perfect, especially at the holidays. So I'm using ginger snaps and butter for the base rather than graham crackers.
Okay.
And then there's really a bitter orange curd. Now, that's oranges, limes, because the bitter oranges aren't in season, eggs and sugar, and that's simple.
I love it. So to make this, to make the crust, the base of it, you said we're using ginger snaps.
Yes.
So everything goes in the food processor?
Yeah, so you first might get these to a rubble, in the processor, like that, in the normal.
So it's Okay. And that's so loud.
That's so loud.
That we're awake now.
And then you would add the butter. However, if you don't have a processor or you don't want to be doing all that washing up afterwards, and it's also quite good for de-stressing.
Yes.
You get a freezer bag and you just bash these with a rolling pin.
I like your thinking on this
And then you mix them in a bowl and you melt the butter. And then you've got this fantastic crumb mix, which, do you know what, when I look at this, I think, imagine this just sprinkled over vanilla ice cream.
That sounds fantastic.
It would be great like that. And then I find this quite calming. So you get a flan tin. Actually, this is a shallow tart. You don't need to have it this deep.
Okay.
Sometimes it just helps to do this, and you just start doing this, and I get lost in this thing when I just carry on like this.
Beautiful little.
But it's quite easy, so I'm not gonna. We have one that's over there.
So we can
get that. We can swap it in. But so, and and it's often easier if you use the knuckles of your hand
to really get it down in there.
Yes, and that goes in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. But if you want to do it a day ahead, that's fine.
But at least about an hour or two, right?
I would say 2 hours. You want the butter to set cold.
Okay, so.
But anyway, at this time of year, it's going to be easier for you to do it the day before.
Absolutely. I like anything we can do the day before a holiday.
I mix up the curd off the heat first. So I've got my eggs, whole eggs here.
Okay.
And then I add some extra yolks.
And some sugar.
Not a great deal. This is quite bitter, but we're adding honey later. And then mix this together.
So the pan hasn't even been on the heat yet, correct?
No, because I don't want to make sugary scrambled eggs yet.
Not so much.
I've never tried it. Don't knock it till you've tried it, I suppose. And then I'm going to add
a little more butter.
That's what makes a curd.
My father always said you can never have too much, so it works.
Well, I'm obeying your father in this. And then I'm mixing lime and orange juice.
And regular orange. So this is how we're doing it because the bitter orange isn't in season.
So I would say for me, the right ratio would be like a quarter of a cup of lime juice and make it to just under 1 cup by adding orange. And now you can go in the heat.
So then once we've got our custard set, I'm going to push it down a little bit because I know we have another one that you want to at least tell us about.
Yes, and then you would put this in the refrigerator for half an hour, and then you pour this in, and then you put it back in the refrigerator.
And that's it.
And that's it.
God, I love this. It gets better and better.
So I'm just going to do this because I enjoy it, even though you don't need it. Purely selfish.
That's all right.
And then it is really quite zingy and sherbety, and therefore I think you put the honey on the table. Again, it's kind of a holiday ingredient, and then drizzle it over as you eat.
It's such a nice little touch. Now I'm just going to have to try a bite of this while you tell us really quickly what this is.
Okay, well this is another no-bake make-ahead tart. And or a pie in Ukraine. It's European. We say it's a tart. So that's chocolate with salt.
That sounds fantastic. This tastes delicious and so light and refreshing after that heavy Thanksgiving meal. I'm sold.
Oh, that's
Nigella,
good.
it's such a treat to have you here with us.
Oh, it's lovely to be with you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.